Hi, my name's David Spader and welcome to another episode of On Principle. Lately, I've been pondering how long our strong economy will continue. I recently spoke with two clients of ours that had very different mindsets. The first has been a high performer in their industry. They've had several very strong years. He was nervous that they were getting sloppy, complacent, and developing bad habits because of the strong market conditions. The CEO called us to ask us to help assess their organization because he knew they weren't performing as strongly as they could or should be. The second client, however, was one who has performed in the middle of the pack for years. They were still in the middle of the pack, but boasted of their strong net profits. Now, indeed, their net profits had increased significantly, but so had everyone else's. What they were choosing to ignore were the facts that their expenses were up, their inventory turns were down, and their margins continued to slide. The bottom line was that they were riding the market wave and convincing themselves that it was their newfound managerial brilliance. A few years ago, the esteemed author Jim Collins of Good to Great fame wrote a book titled How the Mighty Fall. In it, he shares critical insights related to the decline of successful companies. Right now, we see a lot of our clients suffering from the symptoms that lead to the fall of those once admired organizations. Collins identified 5 stages related to this decline. Now, one key insight is that this process of decline is like a disease. This means it's harder to detect in the early stages, but easier to recover from if you catch it early. So pay attention to see if your organization is guilty of any of them. Collins shares that it's often assumed that successful companies become arrogant and sit on their haunches, convinced that they can't fail. This can and does occur, especially the arrogance part. However, we actually identified the first stage of decline is hubris born of success. And it's characterized by this attitude: we're so great we can do anything. Organizations actually start to believe that they will be successful in any venture. They develop a sense of entitlement, begin ignoring underlying business principles, stop learning, and discount the role of luck or market conditions in their success. It is the second stage, however, that's surprising to many. It seems that successful companies are less tempted to sit on their successful haunches than to overreach their capabilities and capacity. Collins calls this stage the undisciplined pursuit of more. He states, and I quote, "Although complacency and resistance to change remain dangers to any successful enterprise, overreaching better captures how the mighty fall," end quote. Collins also coined something called Packard's Law. The insight was that a great company is more likely to die of indigestion from too much opportunity than starvation from too little. Let me say that again. A great company is more likely to die from indigestion from too much opportunity than starvation from too little. So, let's take a look at what a few of these symptoms of indigestion might be. The first, that unsustainable quest for growth. Essentially confusing big with great. We see a lot of organizations right now expanding quickly, but doing so in a sloppy manner when times are good. It's easy to throw money at the problem when you have plenty of it. Is your organization guilty of this? Second, it's a declining proportion of the right people in key seats. Growth sometimes means that positions outgrow the people in key seats. How many of those do you have in your organization right now? And is your team stronger or weaker than it was 1 to 2 years ago? A third symptom is easy cash that erodes cost discipline. Where are your expenses compared to tougher times? Have you looked at them lately? Fourth, personal interests are often placed above organizational interests. So ask yourself, is the focus still on the mission and purpose of the organization, or are there a lot of people going in different directions? What about your own interests? Are they aligned with where the company needs to be headed? And is your leadership team addressing the tough issues and dealing with conflict, or are they avoiding with them because they don't want to upset the apple cart and the success you're currently having? Take a bit of time to ponder these issues, and we'll share the last of Colin's insights in our next episode, along with a few specific actions you can take to avoid some of those bad habits that often come with success. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.